Minasan, konbanwa, Kevin to moshimasu. Today I'll be talking about bicycles in Japan because they're not what you expect in most countries. So let's think back to most Western countries like Canada or the US or maybe even the UK or Australia. When you ride a bike, it's mostly because you want to get somewhere quickly or because you actually want to exercise in it. But in Japan, the bikes here are actually used as if it's a car. So you'll see more bikes than you do cars. Makes sense because the roads are really narrow and it's easier to go through places. It's affordable and it's not that bad in terms of speed. So it's pretty common. But the bikers here are crazy. To be honest, it's scarier seeing a biker coming at you than a car because people riding bikes are more ferocious than people driving cars. With that being said, in the neighborhood that I'm living in right now, there's bikers, as in bicycles, riding back and forth all the time, even in really um, tight strips near the markets. Their bicycles just winding through everyone and stuff, and they're pretty skilled, to be honest. So definitely watch out for bicycles because some of the people there, depending on who's riding a bike, are really aggressive and they expect you to move rather than them actually moving. And unlike Canada, you actually ride the bike on the sidewalk and not on the road. It makes sense because the roads are really narrow, so it can't really fit a bike and a car in the same lane. So that's definitely something to watch out for. Cyclists will just go through the sidewalks like crazy, and you have to dodge them or else you will get hit. I never got hit yet, so I'm pretty lucky, but who knows. Speaking of bicycles, there's actually people who will move bikes and organize bikes so then they'll save space, especially in pachinko bars or pachinko slots where they have hundreds of bikes within a small area. There'll actually be a bicycle guard who watches over the bikes and organizes the bike. So if it's a little crooked, they'll like move it a little bit so then they'll just fit perfectly in. Yeah, so you'll see those um, bike guards around highly populated bicycle areas or bicycle parking lots, if you want to call it that. And last thing about bikes in Japan, because of the lack of space, there's no locks. Like you don't have a lock that you'll think when you're riding a bike in Canada, where you have like a chain or some kind of loop that just locks into a pole or something. You actually have a lock on your bike, so it's almost like a key of a car. You'll turn it to lock the back wheel or the front wheel. Back is more common, so you lock it and then you just take out the key and that's it. And your bike is locked. And if you want to unlock it, just snap it back and then you're free to go. So you don't need any like chains to chain it to anything. And it's pretty good because it saves space. Or if they don't have any locks, they just leave your bike there and it's still there the next day or the next week or even next month. No one really cares. Bikes are too common in Japan anyway. So that's it about bicycles. It's very common, it's pretty cheap to get one, and it's quite convenient if you want to get from point A to point B within a short time. But of course, you have to watch out for people and watch out for yourself because it is quite dangerous. And last thing about bikes, it's really common to see three people on a bike here in Japan. Two is super common, one is really rare. Maybe they're really lonely, but two is really common. Three, still quite common, especially people with families. They'll have like a baby in the front seat, another baby in the back seat, and a mom or the dad in like riding the bike. And yeah, that's it about bikes. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you. Anyway, that is it for me. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll talk to you some other day.